Hello, I'm Eric Ford, and I'm back for part 5 of 5 of International Strategy, Creating Value in Global Markets. As you can see, we're losing our daylight, and it's past happy hour, so we're going to move right along, and there's not a lot here. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. Let's talk a little bit about how we actually make these international strategies work. And there's sort of a continuum that has on the one axis degrees of ownership and the extent of investment and risk exposure. The lowest form is exporting, and this is where we simply manufacture it here, put it on a ship or train or airplane and send it there and hope somebody buys it in wholesale and sells it out. Uh, the next form is licensing, and we'll talk a little bit more about this. This is where we take on partnerships of different forms. Franchising is yet another form of partnership where we actually have local investment coming back. Strategic alliances are yet a bigger form of these sorts of partnerships and joint ventures. So you should have gotten a lot of this in some of your other courses, but we'll go through them quickly right here. Exporting. Producing goods in one country to sell to another. In other words, it's all made in America and shipped abroad, or vice versa. China does a ton of this. Licensing. Companies receive a fee in exchange for the rights to use its intellectual property. So what does this mean? What's a form of licensing? Well, clothing manufacturers may license somebody to produce their styles. So a designer, Gucci or somebody, makes a product. They may then license that product to someone else to manufacture knockoffs or what have you, and then other people can sell it. You see a lot of this in computers where the low-end brands are more or less the same as the high-end brands. You're just paying for labels afterwards. A wholly owned subsidiary, a business in which the multinational company owns % of the stock. In other words, what have they done? They've gone into another country, set up a corporation. They happen to own it, but they let other people buy and trade in that country. And before the stock markets were global in nature, this was a more common form of doing these sorts of things. In particular, it often used to allow the nation itself, the government, to own part of a company, and they would trade that out, and it was a benefit to the company. Oops. All right, so that's it. One last question. Fees that a multinational receives from foreign licensing in return for the use of its intellectual property are called... If you go ahead and drop that in the same email as the other bonus question, we'll take it into consideration. Hope you have a great day. I got one more slide for you. This is the Spurs LA Galaxy planned strategic alliance. We've talked about it. Is football coming to the United States is my question. We have both soccer and football in their various forms. The question will be, are we able to, or is the world's sport able to displace either baseball, basketball, hockey, or football in the U.S. form in terms of its popularity? And we see that the big guys from abroad, the Spurs, is the Tottenham Hotspurs, are coming and going to give it a shot. Hope you've enjoyed it. Bye-bye.